software development life cycle. It starts from requirements gathering, planning, and then designing. Designing, designing will be sorry, short break. So designing is many forms. Designing has many forms. So designing in many forms. Uh, Technical designing, then how effectively we design using the pictorial representation of the system, using flowcharts, sequence diagrams, activity diagrams, entity relationships diagrams, and all of that. Having said that, then requirements gathering. The next phase is so that is implementation, or we would call it as development. So where we actually take the all the raw data and the artifacts, and we will come up with the implementation approach using several ways. Okay, so implementation approaches. So you can use any language for that. So you can use Python, you can use Java, you can use C. So once you do that, so the first thing we will do is we have to test that program snippets or sections of the code, whether it is in compliance with the requirements. So we will do the unit testing, and then we will use many frameworks for testing the code, like JUnit is the one in the Java, and then in the microservices or Spring Boot, you can use Marketo framework. So how exactly it works in Marketo? So we have the configuration, the YAML file, and then the other all related dependencies which we define over there. So based on that, we can write that. So once we write that, then your program will be put into test. So, and then it will be make sure it is delivering the output which we are expecting based on the input you are providing. So that part is done. So once we do that, it will be on our individual laptops or individual desktops or machines, and that will be the code is residing in our local workspace. So once we do that, so immediately what we will do is, the next step is we will take that code, we will take the tested code, and we will deploy it in the application servers, and then the development servers. And application servers means you can understand where we will bundle all the Java programs and whatever it may be, like the dependencies and jar files, var files, and then the images, all of that. If you have the UI framework, then there will be images and all the UA related files associated with that and bundled together in the var file. So Now it is in application server, there is one single file, that is char file, or some in the earlier terminology in the monolithic application way, it will be an ER file. So you take that ER file and deploy it in the application server. So once we do that, so we have to do the integration testing. Integration testing in the development environment initially before it moves to UAT environment or other higher environments. So once we do the development testing in the environment, we will take all the test cases that are defined and given by the customer. So make sure it is in accordance with their requirements. We will execute each and every test script and make sure it is giving us the actual result, the expected result. And we have to feed the data. We have to feed all of the testing results in the Excel sheet. In the form of tabular form, we will give it as test cases numbers, and there will be test cases numbers. And then you will have a CS case scenario, and then the actual result, and then the expected result, and then the pass fail flag. So pass fail flag, you will once you do the testing, you will mark it as pass or you will mark it as fail. So if it is pass, then you can mark it as pass. So you will consider you have 10 test cases. You have to execute all of that, and if all of the 10 test cases are passed, then you will be delivering that. Then you are in a position to say that whatever the code you have written, it is working as expected and you can deliver it. If there is any single thing is failing, and you have to go back to your code and then fix it. So you have to again, if you are fixing it, again you have to go through the entire test suite one more time to make sure the what you fixed for 10, consider it you fixed it for case 10, and you have fixed it on case 10, and when you fixed it in the code for case 10, so you have to make sure you have to run all the 1 to 10 test cases one more time. This is an overhead on the developer. So we have in recent days, it's there from the long, but people are using the manual. People are manually doing all the test cases, so that was taking a lot of time. So what we will do is there is a way there is a way where we can avoid the manual labor while testing that. So how do we avoid manual labor is to do the automation of the testing. So it is actually JUnit also does the same thing, and in the recent world Postman, where you will have a test suits, and the test suits are you have a design JSONs, and you will have for the JSON, when you provide the input data, it will provide the output data, right? So the JSON, so that when you are supplying if you run the test suite, all of that, so it will go through. You don't need to do a manual testing. It will check all of the test results on the go within the very less number, considerable less time actually. So that way the developer burden is used. So testing, once I said this is how you will fix the bugs. So it is a very tedious task to fix the bugs in the big systems where we have the complex logic, and if something is broken and you are going to fix it, it literally kills you. So it has to be like you have to go to the code, and you have to not only code, you have to think first, you have to put it, and you have to holistic approach, I would say. So you have to understand like what's going on with the existing framework first thing. So then why this bug has happening. So then only you can go ahead and fix it. If you don't understand, if you focus on only the one part and you're fixing it, you do not really given a thought about what is rather all dependencies and the interrelations that may have. So it is eventually lead to another more bugs. So make sure we understand the business functionality first entirely. So then you can go ahead and fix it. So that is an easier task. So having said that, so once we do that, so we will deliver it, and it will go to the compliance check with the quality assurance team. So quality assurance team will check the test data and test result based on the real world business scenario. So you are passing numbers and you don't know what the numbers are. So when you see the output, you are seeing like there is a numbers. You are passing some $100,000 and you are getting some $200,000. That's what expected you see. But whether it is that is really a business what it needs, whether it needs another number. So that is software quality assurance team. They will ensure that it meets the desired outcome. So then it will check that, and it will, if it meets the requirement criteria, it will give it back to you. So having said that, so once you do that, we are all good to go. Then finally you will get your payment during the billability.